The number one thing I want to stress, y'all, this is number one. You show up no matter what. No matter what. You do not have to be perfect to be here. If you in the challenge of watermelon for 100 days and you ate something else and you like, oh, they got the Zoom meeting tonight. They about to talk about going further. They about to talk about leveling up. Everybody in there really doing it. And I'm sitting back and I'm not doing this. I'm not attending that Zoom meeting. That's the worst mistake you can make. That is the worst mistake you can make in this challenge. The duration of the challenge is a benefit to you. That's why we didn't do 30 days. We didn't do 50 days. We did 100 so you can challenge yourself. This is going to challenge you the entire summer. Expecting perfection is failure. So you expect to do your best, you expect to challenge yourself, and you expect to stick to your word, and you expect to do the best of your ability. And your ability is going to increase the more you show up in here.
And that's pretty much the gist of what we got going on in the Watermelon Washout. If you show up, you can show out. Family, welcome. Glad to have y'all here with me. Fruit Up with Bobby Smith YouTube, Fruit Up Bobby Smith Facebook, all of that. We about to get it popping. Pop up live on y'all. Me and Lashay, Mrs. Lashay Taylor. What up, dope?
What's up?
What's going on with you?
Chilling. I'm good. You know what? We already know why we here.
Yes. Looking vibrant there. Looking
living
very
off that watermelon.
Indeed. That watermelon got everybody high level, don't it?
Yeah, my whole timeline is just like flooded with watermelon.
Yeah, it's that season. It really ain't even watermelon season yet.
I know it really isn't. I'm amazed that living in Massachusetts, I can find seeded watermelon in a grocery store. I'm telling you, I couldn't find seeded watermelon for years. Like when I was really trying to find it, like 2 years ago, even last year, it was damn near impossible. But I feel like because I'm on that frequency, this is why I believe in the law of attraction. Because when you just kind of on the frequency of something, it just naturally attracts to you. You're going to find it very easily. So I've eaten more seeded watermelon this year than I have eaten seedless watermelon. Even though I eat both, I don't care. Even though I prefer to juice the seedless and eat the seeded.
Facts. It's juicing seedless melon is less messy too. It's less messy. Dude, James Norman hit me soon as we came on. Like he had this pre-written in his phone. This came so fast to the chat.
That was like, in his clipboard.
You go. You get your ebook if you're in the VIP of the Watermelon Washout, and we sending out Agame and t-shirts this week. So there you go with that, James. Thank you for being in the Watermelon Washout VIP, brother. Lashay, I've been talking high level shit about the Watermelon Washout. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been making some huge claims, and you in the Watermelon Washout, you in the VIP. What is your take and experience on the challenge thus far?
So I started the challenge a little bit before the washout started, but so I'm gonna be transparent, right? So I have first started, I'm like, all right, doing 40 days. However, I told myself, I'm committed to 40 days of all watermelon. However, if you know, there's going to be times where I felt like it would be necessary. If cravings are strong enough, I was like, I'm gonna just have mangoes. I'm gonna have something. But after getting in that first VIP session with you and Kev, I'm committed to all watermelon. Like I have to do at least the 40 days of nothing but watermelon. Because like, you know, I don't know. I was telling myself if I go 20 days of watermelon, I don't care if I have any other fruit, as long as I stay off fruit. But there was something about that first VIP session with you and Kev Ramon. There's just something about his words, his way with words, the way to talk about food addiction, the way he breaks things down psychologically when it comes to our relationship with shit that we call food that's not food. It ain't food.
Facts.
It's drugs.
Facts.
So it's more about breaking a drug addiction than it is about watermelon. It ain't about watermelon. It ain't about fruit. It's about overcoming our lowest desires, like overcoming the desires of the flesh. Like it's like watermelon is the object or the tool, so to speak. It's like the tool of the challenge, but really the genuine challenge is overcoming the mind. And when it's craving salt, and when it's craving sugar, and when it's craving all these, the breads and the chewy and the texture, all the things that we want to eat, it's about really parenting ourselves.
Right.
This is like a spiritual thing. This is about making our spirits bigger than our bodily desires. Like the things that we're desiring is not good for us. It's poison. It's poison. It's toxic. It's drugs. Because food is not addictive. Drugs are addictive.
Right.
Not to mention the ebook that he provides that I started reading this morning. Listen. So now you got an ebook that's breaking down the addiction to food like drugs. And then on top of that, you have a support group of people who are in there for all their own personal reasons. And everybody's introducing themselves. So you're feeling connected with people who are on their own personal journeys. You use each other to uplift each other. And then you have the added component of the more intimate Zoom meetings where we were on for 4 hours. Talk about the amount of value that was being added and just allowing people to raise their hand, talk about what brings them in there, them talking about like their most vulnerable reasons for why they're there. It's like really a therapy session, but everybody has something to learn from every person's situation, so to speak. And Kev comes in and he's just talking to them and his own purview, so to speak, his own perspective, as who he is, coming from where he comes from, being a person who did over 160 days of watermelon last year, and then now doing it again. But since then, he pretty much he reset his taste buds and stayed all fruit since last year. So this is a person who has been 100% fruit based, or fruitarian since last year, after 160-day reset of nothing but watermelon. And now this person is in a position of leadership with all of the wisdom that he already naturally had, even before the watermelon. Because I was already on Kev's wave before he really blew up like that. I was following him on Facebook, and I used to read his super long posts where he would just be talking about whatever. But they were insightful, but they didn't get a lot of engagement. So I really love the fact that, he blew up into who he was always meant to be just by being himself. But the value added in the way that things are explained and the way things are broken down and how we're able to just get a certain kind of insight that penetrates us like on a very deeper level that actually helps you change your mind. It's like a light switches the way he talks about things and the way he puts things into perspective. And it's always because, for the most part, it's truth-based. Every time he answered a question, it was always about, this is about the truth. This is about what's rooted in truth. The truth is X, Y, and Z. So you can't really argue with the truth. Anything else outside of that, the emotional aspect of it, the excuses we tell ourselves, the things that we've told ourselves, the story that we live by, the meaning we attached to the things that we've been through in life, most of the time is not even rooted in truth. It's just rooted in fear, in these emotions that are just really low vibrational in its sense, like guilt, shame, fear-based low vibrational emotions that we attach a lot of meaning to. But what we attach the meaning to isn't even really true. It's just the things that we've told ourselves that's kept us just on a lower field for a really long time, which kept us depressed and unhappy. And then we use these things to run away from the way that we feel, from the thoughts that we have, from the story that we've told ourselves, that we've bought into and believe. So we go and eat like crap, or we smoke cigarettes, or we drink alcohol. We attach ourselves to people that we've trauma bonded with, that we have these codependent relationships that we're addicted to. But really the challenge is, you know what? First of all, we're all filled with a bunch of toxic bullshit that we need to get out of our bodies, which contributes to that depression, which contributes to the health issues that we have, which contributes to a lot of things. So now we're getting ready to allow our bodies to heal by not overburdening it with crap and toxicity and drugs and poison. And now only way to heal it is to feel it. Now we have to feel our emotions. Now we have to actually face the shit that we try to eat away. Now we have to face the shit we try to drink away. Now we have to face the shit. So at this point, we facing it. And there's a lot of crying. Do you know how many times I cried in the past 2 days, random, for no reason, just sitting there thinking about stuff? Because number one, a lot of it is attached to wanting to eat other things.
Facts.
But then when you abstain from eating those things, a feeling or an emotion will pop up. And then now you have to actually experience that emotion and feel it. But, it comes up. You're not suppressing it anymore. So just the experience and being in the group makes it easier to stay the course, to stay focused, to stay disciplined, in order for us to be able to face the feelings. So I love you too, completely, Cole.
Facts. I'm gonna say it, and like I said, I made some bold statements, and I'm gonna tell you why I did that. I was sitting in the Zoom. Doc, welcome, Dr. Michelle Knights. What's going on, Doc? Self-control over all your appetites. That's a fact. And that's what this washout is. That's what we're working on inside here. So as I was sitting in the Zoom meeting, I got to say something too, Doc. Got to tell about you are preaching, teaching, and transforming, Lashay.
Thank you, Doc.
As I was sitting in the Zoom, I was watching Kev Ramon. I'm like, wow. I didn't know that Kev was on go like that. So when I say that, I mean, when somebody come at Kev with a personal problem, a personal issue that they trying to fix, or they having an issue with, right? The eagerness and ease that he answered questions with is crazy. It's like you can tell it didn't come from a book. You can tell it wasn't thought about. It's just reactive, and it's so powerful. Like when he told the king to talk to your dad. Like it was so powerful, and it shook the room. Like that's what he do. It's like profound simplicity. And I was talking to Kev earlier today on the phone, and we were talking about the work we putting in and how this is monumental. This is monumental work that we're doing. And it's literally got nothing to do with weight loss or none of that. It's literally about overcoming addictions and facing them up front. It's the cold, hard truth.
Yeah, it's just straight wisdom. You could tell, even not only does it come from his experiences, but I love how he always, how he says, I remember when he was responding to the one question about caring about what others believe about our physical appearance and how he look. And then when he started talking about overcoming, caring about what the physical body looks like at all, having that vanity, caring about what people think about our weight, about how we look, whether we're overweight or not. And then he said, you're not your body. He said, God came into this world as, the person that he was addressing, So say he was talking to me, God came into the world as Lashay.
Right.
Like, you are God. God don't care about what God looked like. You know what I mean?
Facts.
We're here to go through experiences. We're here to live our lives as, God's having a human experience. So it's about, you could tell that the way he comes at us is just coming from a higher place. It's just coming from a higher place. And like you said, it's like a profound simplicity. He doesn't overcomplicate anything because everything is always anchored in the truth. It's not theory. It's not opinion. It's not emotion based. It's always about, okay, so what is true? Let's start right there. And then just expound on the situation, but anchored in, truth is always the nucleus. And I feel like it's hard to dispute anything. It's easy to receive a message when we're constantly reminded of what is real. Not as what is belief, what is theory, what is feelings, what is emotions, but rather what is real. So just the immense amount of wisdom and who it's coming from. It's not a person who's still struggling to get through a lifestyle. It's a person who has overcome it. You know what I mean? But okay, and Kev is amazing, but as are you. Those 7 a.m. master your morning lives, you get us up. Like, you get us ready to go. You get us motivated. You put things into perspective. You get us excited about doing something hard. Because it's not easy to sit there and eat watermelon all day.
Facts.
But once you start the day like that, number one, you're getting us up before 7 a.m. so we can catch it live, because it's just different when you're feeling it in the energy of the time. Mm-hmm. Then you have the interactivity of it. And we're holding about 30 to 40 people in the AM. That's unprecedented.
At 7 a.m.?
Yeah, as many groups as we run. And they're using a special lane to get there. It's not even convenient from the Facebook. So that means people are serious. People are really here trying to change. Like, this isn't about watermelon. We're not here like, oh, we're eating watermelon. It's so cute. Like, no.
Facts.
We're here to be better. We're here to really overcome our lowest desires. We're really here to walk amongst the gods, so to speak. We're really here to walk around here like, I can smell barbecue and not be provoked, in a sense, where I'm over here having a heart-to-heart with myself, trying to keep myself from doing it. We're walking the path to get into that place mentally. We're really practicing overcoming ourselves, overcoming doing something that we know is counterproductive, overcoming something that we know is self-sabotage. You know, like what do you guys say? You're either feeding disease.
You're either feeding disease or you're feeding health.
Yeah, you're either feeding disease or feeding health. So every time you make a choice to eat a hot dog, you know you're feeding disease, but you're gonna eat it anyway. When you know you're eating a piece of barbecue chicken, you know you're feeding disease, but you're gonna eat it anyway. When you're eating macaroni and cheese, you're feeding disease, but you're gonna eat it anyway. Just know that every time you choose to put it in your mouth, just know in your head that you're feeding disease. When you drink alcohol, when you're having a glass of wine, just know you're feeding disease. Like, so eat your glizzy. Just know that you're glizzy. And you're feeding disease.
Hey, James Norman. Kev is a deep brother. This is definitely his calling. I agree with that, James. The two of you are really inspiring the community. Keep up the great work, Bobby. This is truly your purpose. I appreciate it, man. And you know what, James? I really feel like with this, and Lashay, I'm a piggyback off of something you said. Kev Ramon and the energy, you feel like you sitting around greatness. You already sound like Kev. You already, because that's how strong that shit is. Remember he said it. He was like, all of y'all gonna start sounding like me. Because when you around him, it make you feel like I gotta be high level. I gotta be walking amongst this level of energy. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy.
Skin? Okay, so you shared an old post from last year, like this time 2023.
Oh yeah,
you and Kev on a flyer.
Yeah.
And at that time, it was a recent photo of Kev with some watermelon in his hand.
Yeah.
I mean, and his skin was okay. But compared to what his skin looked like now, for a person who did 160 days of watermelon at that point, plus stayed on fruit the entire time, up until around a year later, and now he back on the watermelon, his skin, his hair, his energy, he's like has the most calm nervous system. Like he's so calm, and his skin radiates. You can't even say it's glowing. It's almost like light, like he emanates light. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
It's like a halo effect. Like I'm not trying to make this man sound like Jesus. I'm not trying to sound like I am worshiping him. It's not like that. It's not a cult. But you just gotta. I'm about to screenshot it the next time we gotta Zoom so people can get it.
No, like, and you know what it is. Like you said, he got the most calm nervous system. So it's like when somebody going in, like they going in, like they dramatic, they talking that shit. He just be like, okay, this what I would do. Like it's just. It's just natural. Like he just got that. And that's why I told you it's the energy. And I felt like after that Zoom meeting, I said, we dealing with something we never dealt with before. Me and Kev didn't know what we had here.
No, dynamic duo.
It's
dynamic
crazy.
duo. Dynamic duo. Like, this is the therapy we all know we needed, but didn't know it was going to come from Kevin Bobby Smith as the dynamic duo. Like, this, people paid $400 to get in a VIP. That's a steal. I don't care what nobody says. Like, people are paying their therapists. Like, I was paying when I was doing therapy every couple of weeks, I was paying $175 per visit. People are getting $400 a month for 3 months, and will get so much more value than they would get in continuous therapy for years on end. And they're going to pay way more in that therapy over that stretch of time, because we're talking about deconstructing certain values. And we're talking about, while we're deconstructing those values, we are actively working on building new ones. And it's not about the John is right. And it's not about the watermelon, so to speak. The watermelon is just like a tool, like an object of the challenge. But the challenge is really overcoming your lowest desires. Because the thing about addiction is, addiction, you're consuming something that's not good for you. There's no such thing as like a healthy addiction, so to speak, because addiction means that you're on like the extreme end of it.
Right.
That means you do it too much. You don't know how to create like a balance, so to speak. So if you're addicted to something and what you're addicted to is harmful to you, and it's gotten to a point where like it's really affected you physically, and you still gamble with your health with it, that means that uh, you have a serious problem. That's an eating disorder. You know, like people think that disordered eating is the abstinence of like just eating in general, but an eating disorder is also eating things that kill you. It's like a slow suicide. You're microdosing on poison over the duration of your lifetime. And then that's why when you finally hit like your late 40s and 50s, now all of a sudden your check engine light comes on and you're at the hospital trying to get answers on what's wrong with you. Then you get the body diagnostic and they come back and tell you, well, yeah, you have this, you're a diabetic, you're pre-diabetic, or you have a tumor right here, or it looks like cancer, or it's MS, or it's, you know, fibromyalgia, or it's, you know, whatever name they give acidosis, whatever name they give eating like shit over the duration of your lifetime finally catching up to you. It just manifests in different ways in different people. However, it's just all about the different levels of toxicity we have in our body, and none of us ever want to believe it's because of what we eat. We never want to uh we never want to cycle it back to our dietary habits, when that's actually the most common sense thing. When you think about it, like people will be like, oh yeah, I'm lactose intolerant. Do you think that you're only lactose intolerant? The cheese only give you an instant effect. So if eating anything can affect you in that sense, what makes you think that everything else you're eating is not affecting you in that sense? Because a lot of people will eat like crap and think that they're still healthy for some reason, and then they'll be like, oh well, I take laxatives, or you know, oh, I started supplementing with this. So they think that taking herbs and supplements is going to help like reverse ailments, while they're still eating the things that's creating the problem in their body, and they're not on any kind of like detoxification or elimination program to where they're at least releasing some of the waste that they're constantly consuming, you know, because their bowels aren't moving the way that they're supposed to, their kidneys aren't functioning the way that they're supposed to, their liver is not functioning the way that it's supposed to. So we're just like harboring toxins every time we eat things that don't belong in our body. And the thing about fruit and the magic of fruit is that it allows our body to go back to digestive rest, so to speak. We stop digesting food after about 20 or 30 minutes after a fruit meal, because it digests very quickly. The bowel transit time is very quick. So that allows our body to get back into a fasted state, because that's when our bodies are finally healing and self-repairing, is when it's fasting, is when it's being able to relax. And the beauty of fruit is that it gives us energy through what everybody thinks is the scary thing about it, the fructose, the fruit sugar. It diffuses directly into the blood cell, gives us that charge that we need. It gives us that energy that we need. So it just ticks all of the boxes on our most basic needs. Plus, it doesn't overwork our pancreas, because it already has enzymes built in the food, and enzymes are what's required to break down what you consume. So you have to have enzymes to break down the waste that's sitting in your gut. The beauty about fruit is fruit already has digestive enzymes in the food, and everything else that people consume don't have digestive enzymes. So they're forcing their pancreas, which is the organ that produces digestive enzymes, to overproduce uh, uh, the enzyme. But the enzymes in our bodies are also used for other functions. So it's not able to properly restore the body in the way that it's supposed to, because we're constantly overfeeding ourselves and forcing our body to use its most basic functions that's just really supposed to just keep us energized. We're depleting our energy. So fruit is like the magic thing. It's what our bodies were consumed to eat. You know what I mean? We're supposed to eat the fruit, but everybody's so afraid of the fruit. And the thing that they're most afraid of is exactly what keeps us energized. And our bodies are always constantly breaking everything that we consume down to a simple sugar. You know? So at the end of the day, there's just a whole bunch of cognitive dissonance. People are afraid to change because they're addicted. Addicts are going to make excuses to continue to be an addict because they're chasing the peace and the serotonin boost and that dopamine hit that they get from consuming the things that they're addicted to. It gives them peace in that moment, but ultimately it's harmful to the body. So in this challenge, in this group, we are we're understanding that, we're understanding what the things we love, how harmful it is and why it's harmful, and then, so it's.
You know what? I'm not meaning to cut you off. Matter of fact, as I cut you off, can y'all please put some fire emojis in here for Lashay Taylor, please. Fire. I'm not gonna say
fire sauce. Sorry, y'all. It's like a joke. They be saying
fire in the chat for this woman, please. Like Doc, I think you said it right when you said she needs a master class. She needs a master class. She needs to teach. And because this is what we got inside the war. This is the administrator and a participant of the washout. I feel like the leader and a participant.
Thank you. I certainly am a participant.
I definitely am too. I'm in this with the family. So I wanted to piggyback off what you said real quick. You said we learning what we're eating, how it's affecting us, and what's in it and all of that, right? That's something else that just got added to the washout. Kev is doing a class in there teaching people about the ingredients, what the ingredients do to the body, and all of that. Like, it's crazy the amount of value that's in this group. It's insane. Shouts out to my brother Casino Crisis. What up, family? I see you. It's so and hold on. This is what somebody said real quick. Plus, when you account the value of the 1 month supply of Agame, $397 is an absolute steal.
Mm-hmm.
So Yoga, shouts out to my sister who's in the Watermelon Washout VIP and really understands the value that just took place and how high the bar has been set. Let's talk about that real quick. The addition of Agame inside the washout. You use Agame. You actually are using it to promote it in a way because
now I'm a brand ambassador because I believe in it that much. Like I've been using it at this point for almost 3 months. And all I can say is that even before I was like really even eating at the highest level, it was beneficial to me because just it reminds me of like a sativa. If anybody's into the plant medicines, THC, if you've ever experienced the sativa, it gives you a mind high where you have a lot of creativity, where you have a lot of energy, when you are inspired. It makes you happy. it does that for me, for number one. So I would start using it almost as a nootropic, because I was noticing that when I was taking it first thing in the AM, getting ready for my day, I would end up getting so like just more productive than I even expected myself to be. Kind of like flying through my tasks and then doing even more. Like for my day job, I'll be on the road heading to a property. I'll get a call from somebody who just inquiring about something, and they're like, asking if they can see it that same day. And it'll be late. And normally I'll be like, nah, I'm going home in my head. Like I'll reschedule, I'll schedule it for tomorrow. But there'll be something inside of me like, let's just bang this out. And like, I'll literally drive 15 miles out of my way from the appointment I'm about to head to and leave from, just to get it done. Like, and my productivity is crazy just from Agame. So that's just one thing, the mental thing for me. So that's really why I love it the most. I can't even lie to you. Because sometimes I have a lazy tendency. So finding something that's not like a pharmaceutical that you have to get a prescription for, that to be able to focus. This is something that you can invest in, and it's a herbal. It's an herb. It's a blend of herbs, and it's Chinese herbs. So they're like bitter herbs used in traditional Chinese medicine. There's over 21 herbs in one little capsule, and however way they synergistically mix that up, they got the formula down. Because all I know is I have never taken an herb so consistently in my life. Like I'll try to, but I don't forget to take Agame.
Yeah, fact.
So the amount of energy you get, that alone is worth its value. Because if you worried about the cost of Agame, it's an investment in your energy. You will make more money. You will be more productive. It is a real investment. It will triple whatever you do for money. You will be more productive. You'll be more creative. So it's an investment. It ain't something that when you look at the price of it, you are actually losing money, in my opinion, not taking Agame, especially if you're in sales, if you're a creative, if like, that's just me. Okay. So from that, the suppression, the appetite suppression, because like I'm a foodie. I love flavor. I love taste. Like I'm always. So that's what makes this so hard. Like, I don't know if y'all into the zodiacs, but I'm a Taurus. We love our food. We love to eat. And eating used to be my hobby before I developed health issues and had to become more health conscious. And even then, I still fall into the cycles of eating like crap in between eating healthy and all of that over the years while on the transitional journey of wellness. We all go through our cycles. But with Agame, it's so much easier to stick to being either just 100% fruit, fully raw, or especially all this watermelon, because it actually kills my cravings. Yeah. It kills my cravings. So I don't crave anything. I have my Agame in the first thing in the morning. I know I'm about to be productive, and I know all I got to do is have my fruit ready. And if I feel like I need energy, I need to consume something, I need hydration, I reach for what I know I'm gonna be eating all day. It's like the perfect combination. So appetite suppression, killing your cravings, and then it's just good for you. It basically puts you in a place where you have to drink a lot of water. And a lot of people don't get a lot of water, because if you're doing Agame, you have to increase your fluids. You have to make sure you're drinking enough water, because it has like that cardiovascular effect. It's really good for blood flow, blood circulation. So you have to drink a lot of water to make sure the herbs are really evenly distributing throughout all of your blood cells in your body. And with all the energy you get, you're going to be moving anyways. So make sure you're like well hydrated, you have your mental stamina, you have your physical energy, and you have like that appetite suppressant aspect of it. So personally, it's the trifecta of herbs, and it's good for you. It really is good for your body in general. So on your fruits, and you're making sure you're getting your herbs simultaneously. It's like, I don't know. All I'm saying is definitely give it a try.
That. And you know what? You just explained Agame to the T. And I'm gonna tell you why, because ever since you know how often and consistently I've been taking it.
Mm-hmm.
And you personally, you have seen my level up.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen the way I handle tasks and do business and able to handle all this stuff all day long, every single day. It's because you will be like, sometimes I'll be like, did you take your A game today? No, I ain't take it. You can tell the difference in a person.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like Doc always say, it's not a magic drug. It's not a magic capsule or nothing. It's really the real deal food and energy that you need. Mm-hmm. And I promise people all the time when I first started taking it, I'm gonna be transparent with y'all. I'm gonna let y'all know how it's going. And it's truly been a game changer. And that's why I'm proudly an ambassador of Agame. Go to agameherbal.com, family, right now, and put in the code L Taylor 15 and get 15% off instead of the 10%. You're getting 15% off right now with the code L Taylor 15. That is for Lashay Taylor. It is the new ambassador. You feel me? Like I'm appreciating your journey with Agame because you really, I know you don't lie about nothing.
No, I don't. And like I've been asked to be a brand ambassador for certain things, and I'm like, let me see the ingredients. They'll have a bunch of filler ingredients. I'm like, I wouldn't consume that, so I can't sell it. Like I have enough integrity to not try to sell something I wouldn't personally use, and I'm not selling it because I used it once or twice and it gave me energy. No, I've been using it for a minute now, and
it's the deal. Thank you.
Yeah.
Doc talking about, okay, I can pass the baton to Lashay. You are such Doc, she don't like the word fire sauce. That is too funny. But yeah, this experience, what we got going on, family, with the watermelon washout, with Agame Herbal, with Kev Ramon, with all of the things that's happening right now, it is truly a great time to be alive. Lashay, you have stepped into such a role that like you are so encouraging and so inspiring because your story, even your recent story of coming on the internet and coming back, you want to speak on that for people who haven't heard and how you bounce back and how you feeling now and how you thriving in your thinking and everything now?
All I can say is that I went on a mission to have a regulated nervous system because my nervous system was not regulated before like August or September of 2023.
Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. Let's Doc said, hold on. Doc said if anyone gets Agame tonight with Lashay's code, you are getting an extra week while we're on the live stream. You have to do it while we're on the live stream, and you'll get an extra week of Agame, which is an extra $30 value, family. Extra $30 value. Now that might be a $40 value. I don't know. But get it now. Code L Taylor. L Taylor is the code. I'm sorry, Lashay. Go ahead.
L Taylor 15. That's a steal.
L Taylor 15. Indeed.
Okay. So yeah, I was on a physical health journey over the past couple of years. And I was high raw vegan. I was generally pretty consistent for the most part. I'll go through many cycles where I'll slip up here and there and like, eat like crap for a week or two, but I'll always get back on. And my health improved. My physical health improved generally. But I would plateau. And I felt like even though I wasn't perfect with my diet, it didn't warrant the plateau. Like it didn't warrant some of the symptoms I was still experiencing that just wouldn't go away, like severe head congestion. I was starting to get like endometriosis symptoms again. And like, there were just little things that were resurfacing. And I would go back to the perfectionism aspect of eating, and things still wouldn't change or reverse. And when I really thought about it, it didn't matter how good I was eating, because there was so much going on in the background with my mental health. Um, and I was just stressed out. I was uh, just like really.
When I go live every single day this summer at 7.
I'm sorry. I don't know how that happened.
I was depressed. There were just like all these emotions inside of me, and my nervous system was really stressed out. So the healthy eating didn't really matter, because all the stress I was experiencing just kind of counteracted whatever good I was doing for my body. So I had to get offline, and I had to just really focus and center myself. I had to detox from social media. I had to get off the internet for an extended period of time. I was gone for like almost 6 months, and it was random. I didn't tell nobody I was logging off. I didn't make no major announcements. I just did what was best for me at that time. And I was just like, I don't owe anybody anything. I'm responsible for my health. I'm responsible for my mental health. And instead of focusing on the physical health journey, because a lot of my mental health struggles was honestly around surrounding the physical health. I mean, was surrounding the lifestyle of raw veganism and my desire to be like this perfect 100% fully raw vegan, and my incapability of just making that decision of doing it. And because I knew it would be what was best for me physically, but I didn't deconstruct those that the values that had me addicted to the drugs, so to speak. Um, so I had to take away the meaning and the stigma behind eating certain foods. I had to start going on a journey where certain foods weren't considered bad to me. So if I wanted to eat something that I otherwise would have considered to be a bad meal, I started allowing myself to eat it during that time offline, unapologetically, without guilt, without shame, without judgment of myself. And that was probably the best thing I could have did. Because it actually regulated my nervous system. It could have been the addiction, the dopamine. It could have been whatever that was doing that for me. But the biggest thing was that no matter how perfect I wanted to be, I would always slip back into the cycles, emotionally eating, because of all the things that was going on in my life. I would always go back to the comfort of processed toxic foods. So because I would do that, how I would feel about myself, the way I would judge myself, the way I would beat down on myself, the things I would say to myself in my head, I just wasn't a nice and kind and compassionate person to me. With the thoughts that I held and the beliefs that I held against myself, the way I would harshly judge myself for eating fries, for eating rice, for having a burrito, like a bean and rice burrito from Chipotle. Like, I would say some really terrible things to myself about my lack of discipline, and just like this, I'd call myself a self-sabotager. I'd call myself undisciplined. I'd call myself lazy. I'd say there's something wrong with me. I would say all these negative things that I would internalize, and I would repeat it over and over and over and over and over. And it became a program. And I became like this really unhappy, sad, depressed, self-deprecating person who never really had anything nice to say or feel or believe about myself, even though everybody else looked at me and held me to this high regard and put me on this pedestal. I felt like I had imposter syndrome. I didn't feel deserving of the kind and nice things that people believed about me. And I had to start living in a way where I was allowing myself to like make mistakes, to fail, to be imperfect. And that's when I understood like the importance of the transition. And as soon as I started allowing myself to eat like crap unapologetically without judgment, I'm telling you, my health actually got better. And I don't encourage people to do this. My health only got better because my nervous system got better, because I stopped associating negative meaning or a negative story to what I was doing. And the more I allowed myself to eat whatever I wanted, the more of a desire I actually had to eat better and eat healthier. So I told myself, if you're going to allow yourself to eat this, we got to get on a healthy eating routine. So I committed myself to make healthy choices first thing every single day for the first half of my day. And it was easy to stick to because in the back of my head, I had the reward of having, if I wanted to, whatever I wanted after 4 or 5 p.m. But I would always religiously start my day on a good note. I wasn't thinking about the addictive, toxic things that I would otherwise be trying to fight myself from consuming earlier on. So I started off with drinking 24, like more so 24 to 64 ounces of water. But at a minimum, I would always drink water every day. That became a normal part of my routine. Herbs. I always made it a point to make sure I was drinking at least a cup, like 8 ounces, an 8-ounce cup of herbs. Then I wouldn't really eat any solids until about 12 o'clock. But when I did, I would only eat fruit. And I got into building the habit and the routine every single day of drinking water, taking herbs, and eating an abundance of fruit to begin my day. And after 5 p.m., sometimes I would keep eating fruit. Sometimes I would have a healthy, whole food, plant-based meal. Sometimes I would have a processed vegan burger, like whatever I wanted after 5. But I noticed that when I started allowing myself and not judging myself, when I did have something unhealthy or imperfect, it just made it so much easier to get on and stick to a healthy routine on a day-to-day. So I started genuinely building an everyday habit of wanting to do something good for myself on routine. So it was the transition I needed, because then I got to a point where some of those unhealthy choices started catching up to me. I could start to feel the lack of vitality. And then it became so much easier to stop eating it. So that's what I was doing before I came back online. I got into therapy to start working out the things that I was holding on to, the suppressed traumas that I was allowing to kind of control how I viewed myself. And that felt productive in and of itself, like going and talking to somebody about my problems and the things that I was going through internally. And then I just started focusing more on work, on my finances, just putting in more energy and productivity into my daily grind so I can start feeling better about the things that was causing me stress, like financial issues and things of that sort. So I just had to unplug to really focus on myself. And while I was focusing on myself, I was calling it my mental health journey. I just became very intentional about improving my mental health. I wasn't settling for depression anymore. I wasn't settling for it. I got exhausted with feeling how I felt. I got exhausted with it. So I got to a point where I wanted to do something about it. So even though I spent a good amount of time sitting in a deep depression, I'm grateful for the depression, because the depression was so long and I got so exhausted and couldn't handle that amount of weight on me anymore, because it started getting dark. It started getting to that point where this is how I'm going to feel every day. I'd just much rather not be alive. So that's what really scared me and shook me and woke me up into like being deliberate about being intentional about creating some peace on the inside and having just more centeredness, more balance, and more love for myself. And once I started working on that aspect of my life, I got more involved in things, because before I was an indoor person. I never went outside. which is another reason why you could be depressed. If you're not getting enough sunlight, if you're not getting enough fresh air, if you're not moving your body enough. I got hobbies. That's when I started, getting more into shooting, joining a gun club, taking on a leadership role within the gun club. And, I got some hiking gear. So I wanted to get more out in nature, start hiking more. I joined a dating app for friends, a Bumble BFF. It's like a dating app, but for friends. I found, a couple of women that I vibed with. And, there's one that's like basically my best friend, and I go out with her at least once or twice a month, and I get to talk about, certain things. Like I started seeking sisterhood because I didn't have like close relationships with people in real life. Like I have some bonds I created online, but it's not the same than a person that is like here with you in your town that you can connect and get together and do things with. So I just started really focusing on creating a sense of community for myself. There was all these things. Health is not just about food. You have to take a holistic approach to health. Health is everything. Health is like the relationship, not only that you have with others, but genuinely the relationship you have with yourself, the things that you say to yourself, the things you believe about yourself, the storyline that you have about yourself, how you view your life, how you feel about your life, how you show up in the world, how you are of service to others, the quality of your friendships, the quality of your relationships, having things of interest and hobbies, something that you're passionate about that gives you a sense of purpose and meaning. That's just a lot of that's I lacked in that arena. My social life was social media, and I was struggling with what made me popular online. So even though I was like successful at it, more successful than others, more disciplined than others, I was still struggling with the addictive aspect of it. But it wasn't necessarily the food I was struggling with in hindsight. It was the stuff that I had buried inside of me that I still wasn't fully ready and completely like to task to heal and to face. But when I got so burdened by what I was suppressing, when I would go through those cycles, those binge cycles, and I started talking to people about it and just getting outside of my introverted bubble, so to speak, and started getting out of my comfort zone and doing things outside of what makes me feel safe inside and all of that. It's just my life changed in such a different way. And I'm just like a different person. I really don't care about what people think about me. I'm pretty open about mental health. Like, a lot of people are so afraid to talk about depression. It's funny how I know a lot of people go through what I've been through, but a lot of my posts, my vulnerable shares about depression and mental health don't get a lot of activity. It doesn't get a lot of engagement. But that's because a lot of people, even though they feel that way too, they're afraid to publicly co-sign it, because then it's going to make they're insecure about how it reflects on them. Shit. If I like this, people are going to think this is how I feel too. Like people care too much about what other people think. But if you care about what other people think, you live in a prison, and you'll never, ever be happy, and you'll never, ever be fulfilled, and you'll never be at peace if you care about what other people think when it comes to stuff like that, because you'll never address it. You'll always suppress it, and you'll always run away from yourself. And I started being happy, and I started feeling a peace and a release of that burden is when I started sharing it. When I started writing about it, it's crazy, is when I actually started to hit like those new highs or milestones when it came to my mental health. It was like once I shared it and let it out, it was like I was able to breathe and release it and give it to God and move forward. Like it wasn't mine anymore. I don't know. But that's basically what I was doing. And then when I came back with a different energy. Like, okay, now I can be myself. Now I'm not afraid to step into my purpose. Now I'm not afraid to fail, to try, to put myself out there and say, this is what I want to do. Because because before I was afraid to do it. I would hide. And now I just don't care because I'm not really attached to any outcome. I'm just like letting go and letting God, and wherever I'm led, I'm just kind of going with it, like being divinely guided to where I'm supposed to be. And all that's required is just being courageous enough to show up and figure it out as you go along and not trying to be perfect while you do it. And what I learned with allowing myself to just do what I wanted to do and eat what I want to eat for that time period while practicing not judging myself for doing it, it just kind of taught me to be okay with failure. It taught me to be okay with making mistakes, because even though I was doing what I wanted to do, I wasn't judging myself. That was really the true value. Learning how to purposefully make mistakes, understanding that we're going to make mistakes and we're not perfect, and not attaching any negative meaning to it or a good meaning to it. It just is what it is. So once I was able to do that, I was able to just allow myself to do a whole bunch of things and be willing to fail everywhere, be willing to make mistakes everywhere, because we have to get past the fact that we're not going to be perfect at anything. So when you're starting a health journey, you have to be okay with like knowing that you're going to end up slipping up and eating something imperfect. If you start attaching, a negative meaning to yourself because of that one action, you stay stuck there. And now you start defining yourself by a bag of chips you ate. And I used to define myself and create a whole negative story about who I am as a person because I made a mistake over some French fries or something stupid. And I would let it destroy me for a whole month because I couldn't get past it, because I might as well just do it now because I done already messed up and self-sabotage. And you tell yourself that story, you're going to repeat it. So
that's one. Hey, you know what though? I have to say I'm so proud of you, and the progression, and you taking, not like the progression started once you stopped. You know what I'm saying? Once you stopped feeling or doing the things that were making you feel that way, once you got offline, once you were just able to start eating whatever you wanted, that's when you grew. Mm-hmm. And you know that though. So like you tell people that story, and it's like it was a quick turnaround too. And it was a quick turnaround because I know when it turned around. So you came back very strong. I'm very proud of you. You ready to go. Let me ask you this. Indeed. Let me ask you this. Oh, don't forget, y'all. Go to agameherbal.com and use the code LTaylor15 for 15% off right now. And if you order it while we're on the stream, you'll get an extra week of Agame with your order. Do that right now at agameherbal.com. Use the code LTaylor15 for 15% off. Agame. Why? So is this the summer of transformation? Why and how do you know?
This is the summer of transformation because I'm transforming. I am a part of a high level group where I'm already seeing transformation and people that I've kind of been watching over the past couple of years. Lots of people who were inspired by me a year or two ago, who was like, oh my God, I want to do this so bad. You inspire me every day. Like people who've inboxed me over the years saying how much they struggle with the lifestyle. They ask for advice, but they never really take it. They kind of stay stuck in that, like, I'm seeing those people. They're changing. Like they've broken out of the cycle. Now they got some consistency. But this is the summer of transformation because we're going to make it the summer of transformation. It's the summer of transformation because this is the age of implementation. This is the age of not wanting to do things, but of being. Not doing, but being. We are being healthy. We are being accountable. We are being active in our physical and our mental health. We are playing a constructive role, a productive role, a proactive role in creating what we say we want for ourselves. So we say this is the year of transformation, and we get up on command and transform.
Mm.
So it's really that simple. It's about making the declaration, saying it out loud, understanding that our voice is energy. And when you say things outwardly like that, especially with confidence, that energy has to go somewhere. So that energy transmutes into doing, and that doing transmutes into being. And being a part of challenges, no matter whose challenge you're a part of. You know, we have an amazing challenge. There's other challenges. There's ones that are more accessible if you really truly don't have the finances to invest 100 or 400 for the VIP. It's all about finding your space. Get in where you fit in, but you're the energy. You have to put in the work. We can use each other to siphon energy from. We can bring our energy together to keep each other going and keep each other encouraged and keep each other moving forward. But at the end of the day, you're the energy. You say, I'm transforming. And then you do something to make sure that the chances that you are actually going to transform and change in some way, shape, or form is more likely. So get a part of a challenge. You know, like nothing irks me more than people who don't value investing in themselves in these ways, hopping under somebody who created a space for people to change and transform, trying to discourage them from paying for it. You know, being all loud about their opinion about, don't you pay nobody to eat watermelon? Is he paying for the watermelon? And this and that. If you don't get your stupid ass out of here.
They everywhere. They are everywhere.
Just because you don't value it, you ain't on the frequency.
Yeah.
You know, like, do you go and stand in the line on Black Friday in front of the Nike factory and tell them, you better get out of that line? I don't know why you paying them people $150 for a pair of sneakers. You can go in. Are they gonna put the shoes on your feet?
Yeah, you got them. I love how you use that same voice every time.
I cannot. Like, get your low vibrational self out of here.
Facts.
You know, like, stop coming into people's spaces where we trying to get people. It ain't about money or making money. Yes, okay, we live in a capitalistic society, you know.
Facts.
Cost of living has increased. Inflation is real, right? We live in a Keynesian economic system. Every time they print money, the value of things go up. The cost of things go up. That's the world that we live in. So that means that if you want us to be here in front of you, keeping you inspired, teaching you, we give you more than enough free information. But if you want that real energy, if you want true value, if you want to change for real, if you don't want to do it yourself, then be willing to invest in you, because it's just dollars. You're just transmuting energy into yourself in a more intrinsic way. You're turning a physical piece of currency into intrinsic spiritual value, where you're going to change forever moving forward. You can't put a price on that. You know, a lot of people spend most of their life grinding it out, working hard for somebody else, not valuing their health at all. And then they accumulate all this money. But then they get to an age where no matter how much money they have, they're not even physically healthy enough to enjoy it. So what do they end up doing? Taking all that money that they were so afraid to give up in exchange for investing in their health. Now they want to invest in saving their life instead of preventing the worst outcome from happening. So sure, if you can do it on your own, if you have the discipline in order to do it yourself, and you can maintain the discipline, then do it. But don't discourage people who aren't as mentally strong as you and trying to make it seem like there's no value in these spaces. We're changing the world, and we are heightening the frequency of the planet, because we are actually doing a mass cleansing We're getting people to clean their bodies. You know how much clarity that creates in the mind? You know, when people start embark on this journey, you know what happens? They start to detox in every way, not only physically, but they actually detox their environment. Real low vibrational beings that they've allowed to suck their energy start to fall off. They begin to gain a backbone. They stop letting people take advantage of them, talk down to them, break them down, speak to them any kind of way. Now they actually start having enough self-respect to realize, if I'm taking care of myself on this level, what I look like even letting you in my space, if you're going to disrespect me every chance you get. You start to raise your standards in all aspects. And the more we raise and heighten our standards because of what we do for ourselves, we're creating a better world, because that lessens the chances of propaganda being able to penetrate us. We understand, we know how to take care of ourselves. Now we're not delegating taking self-care and health and being a healthier person, having a healthier body to anything outside of us. We're not over here treating doctors like gods, like they are the end all be all for our survival. You know, like we become our own doctors. We start to develop such a good relationship with ourselves and our bodies because we actually can feel our bodies. We start to know our bodies more when we start healing and cleansing. When we start, because now once you start cleaning up and then you try to eat something that's good for you and that's toxic, what happens? You feel it. Your body communicates with you. And when your body communicates with you, you actually start to listen. You start to pivot. We normalize being sick so much that when we eat like crap and we start developing all these symptoms, we normalize the symptoms. But as soon as you start reversing symptoms and you start to get energy and you start to feel better, you start to think more clear, you feel it when you start putting toxicity back in your body. And when your body communicates with you, you actually hear it. And then you respond.
Yeah.
So you're developing a genuine, it's like your spirit is developing a relationship with the body. Because the body, you're not the body. Your body's just a tool. It's a vessel. It's just how you navigate this human experience. So it's like your body having a symbiotic relationship with your spirit. And the spirit understands that the body is borrowed. So the spirit becomes wise and clear enough to know what to do in order to keep the vessel operating effectively, so that while we're here, we're able to carry out our mission, so that our ascended and heightened spiritual souls, so to speak, are able to ascend on to the next life when the time is right, with more value, so to speak, because we've invested in ourselves on a deeper level, besides just being here to eat and to smoke and chill and watch TV and have sex and kick it and work and pay taxes and pay bills and be stressed out and be depressed and be worried and be anxious. That's not why we're here. But that's how we become, by being subject to the delicacies of the matrix.
Hey. Fire, 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 fire. I feel like it's the summer of transformation. Like after like it's so much opportunity ahead of us, family. And everybody in here knows. Preach facts. You feel me? Like, listen, Doc wanted to let everybody know, Bobby, they are getting their A game. Woohoo! We are so grateful, family. Thank y'all. I see y'all using that. They must be using that that Lashay code, that L Taylor code.
We all will not regret it. And
thanks for joining the A Gang family. We welcome you. Thanks for supporting Lashay and taking advantage of the special. We appreciate you. If y'all just now joining and don't know what we're talking about, that is agameherbal.com. If you use the code Lashay L Taylor 15, you'll get 15% off and an extra week as long as we're on this stream right now. Did I cut you off? I feel like I did.
No, it's okay. I was gonna say something about A Game. Yeah, those who purchased, You won't regret it. And what I will say is before you women, if you got the women's formula, before you start taking it, inbox me, because there is a method. Agame is powerful.
It's powerful.
The first time I took one, I took a whole capsule. I was jittery. It was like, I remember there was this one day years ago, I had went to a wedding, my friend's wedding in the Dominican Republic. And I wasn't a coffee drinker anyway. But them Dominican coffee beans, they must have been growing it next to the poppy seeds, the heroin, because I was almost like that the first day I did the Agame when I took a full capsule, because I have a tiny frame, so you have to take you gotta portion it really well for your first one, just to get a feel for how your body's gonna respond, because it's energy. I'm telling you, it's powerful. I love Agame. If you're a woman, before you take it, just reach out to me and I'm gonna give you instructions on how to do your first application.
That is dope. That's dope. Extra work for the family. It's good to start with a half a capsule just so your body get used to the herbs, as it will increase blood flow. Then move up to the whole capsule. My first time taking Agame, I took 2 capsules. I was running around. I didn't know Doc at the time or nothing, and I was running around the house and I was going crazy. And I told Doc, I took both capsules. She was like, "Really?" And I got scared as hell. I'm like, "What do you mean, really?" But I was all good, and I take one every single day now. Every single day I take one, and I feel high level. So, hey, yo, we not on here just trying to throw it in your face like that, but we trying to throw it in your face like that because it's really like that.
Yeah, it is. It's dope. It's dope. You'll love it. For me, again, nootropic. That's really why I like it the most. It makes me more money.
Facts. Likewise. Like I kept calling him all day. Listen, y'all, watermelonwashout.com. Watermelon Washout is truly the highest level transformational group on the planet right now. I'm not just saying that. Me and my brother Kev Ramon really, really got something special inside this group. Lashay Taylor's a part of the group. She's an administrator. It's very high level in there. We got some high level individuals inside this group. And Kev's raising the bar. I'm learning a lot already. We running it professionally, efficiently, and we're going to have high level results when this summer ends. So if you're not in there, get in there, watermelonwashout.com. VIP members, if you sign up, you will get a month supply of Agame Herbal. You will get a whole month supply of Agame Herbal if you sign up for the VIP. If you're not going to sign up for the VIP and you still want to get some Agame Herbal, go there right now so you can get 15% off with the code LTaylor15, family. So this is the type of movement we got going on. It's about to be a spectacular summer. You're going to see a lot of me and Lashay. I wanted to answer a couple questions I seen on here. My concern is the dependence. Will you require it always? No. Your body going to want it always because it's nutrients. It's good for it. It's good for your body. It's 21 herbs. It's giving your body things that you don't have or that you don't use. So you're not going to become dependent on it. It's not a drug. It's an herb.
It's not addictive. It's not addictive at all. There has been, I've taken long breaks in between taking it. Like I said in the beginning, it was so strong that, I only took it on an as needed basis. Like if my energy was super low or whatever. But at this point, I'm doing the watermelon washout. So for me, it's just important to have those added nutrients while I'm only mono eating on watermelon. Because no matter how miraculous and great watermelon is, for me, I would just feel better supplementing along with the watermelon. But it's not addictive by any stretch. Like you will not have a chemical dependency on Agame.
No. When I don't use Agame, it's not like I need it. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to have it. I can still function and be high level without it. It's just that it gives me that extra boost. It really does when it comes to an energy aspect.
It's just so high quality. The thing is, like, when it's beneficial to you, it's just something you want all the time. Like, do you have like a favorite face wash that once you started taking it, it kept your skin clear. You know, like there's just those certain products that you always have. Like, do you have a favorite razor? You know, like it's just one of those things that improves your quality of life. It's all natural. There are no side effects. There's no crash. There's no come down. So for me, it's just an investment in something that helps me, you know. No, there's no cordyceps in it.
No. You can go on agameherbal.com and all every single one of the Chinese herbs is inside there. It's listed in there with the description, what it do for you, and all of that. High level transparency at agame.com, agameherbal.com. We got a couple more questions I wanted to get to. Let me see. Question. With all that energy you get from Agame, does it not interrupt your sleep? No, it doesn't interrupt your sleep at all. It's the way I described Agame to Doc yesterday on the live. I said it's like this. Like, say I don't take Agame because I do take it every day, but sometimes I won't take it. And that next day that I don't take it, as soon as I start doing anything that's moderately moving the body, right? Walking, moving around the house a little more than you usually do, you start feeling that energy. You can feel it always. So it's like dormant energy inside you. And when you move, it moves you more. That's how I feel like. When I start walking, I feel like running. Like, it's literally like that. And it's slow release. So that's why you take it every 3 days. So you always gonna have that energy, and it's in your body for 3 days at least. So yeah, that one right there. Can I use seedless watermelon to join the watermelon washout? Of course. Seedless watermelon is fantastic. We're not one of them. Now, some people in the group, like Kev Ramon, don't eat seedless watermelon, but he don't mind if I do. You know what I'm saying?
Seedless and seeded. I don't discriminate as long as it's sweet, as long as it's hydrating, as long as it's detoxifying. You know, a lot of people who like to parrot that seedless watermelon is GMO or fake, they don't even really eat fruit like that. If you go on their timeline, they just shared a picture of fried chicken and all kinds of stuff. Like they eating a bunch of seedless chickens. They eating seedless ham hocks, seedless spare ribs, but they worried about a seedless watermelon. That's where they draw the line. So don't allow the fear monger. And there's a lot of organic farmers who talk about the process of breeding watermelons and how they end up seedless. But it has nothing to do with genetic modification or genetic geoengineering or anything of that sort. A seedless watermelon is good for you. There's nothing wrong with it. It is still it's still hydrating. It still has fructose. It's still going to give you natural energy. Still going to allow your body to be in a fasted state so that it can be, so that the body can do what it's designed to do, which is self-repair and regenerate. So you'll be fine. And just to go back to Rachel Clegg, just for 1 second to answer her question. I know you answered it, but if I take Agame in the AM, like when I first get up, you'll be fine. Like you'll sleep fine. But one thing about Agame is it's good to exhaust energy because you do get a lot of energy. So if you exhaust your energy throughout the day, you're going to sleep well too. So if you're exercising or if you're taking long walks, if you're doing something to help exhaust energy, you ain't going to have to worry about your sleep being interrupted.
Facts. And like Doc said, it actually helps you sleep better. If you're taking it consistently, taking it right. Like Doc said, Bobby eats watermelon. It's not seeded or seedless. It's just watermelon, family. Watermelon is watermelon. You can put the seedless or seeded in front of it, but it's still at the end of the day watermelon. So yeah, this has been, you are fantastic, my friend. You do know that. Hey, see, Lashay, one thing about, don't let Lashay fool y'all. Lashay knows she fire. Like, don't let her fool y'all. She humble, but she knows she fire. So, and that's what we bring in this year. Heat. It's about to get hot over the summer. You're going to be cool as a cucumber, which is a watermelon. So you want to be cool as a watermelon this summer while the heat is raising. And we are truly raising the vibration of the planet. Bobby Smith, Kev Ramon, Lashay Taylor, Dr. Michelle Knights. We have a strong team. Completely Cole is a moderator inside the group. And we are taking off. Don't forget, family, tonight, Tiger Carper. Head over to my brother Tiger Carper page. I think he's doing it from his page. He might be doing it from his group. What's his group called, Lashay? Living Health?
No, something. See, now you made
a healthy alternative. No, that's not it.
It's something healing. See, now my brain.
Somebody tell me, my brother Tiger Carper is interviewing the brother Kev Ramon tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
It's lifestyle healing.
Lifestyle. It may be in the group Lifestyle Healing. If you're not in there, get in there. Shouts out to my brother Tiger Carper. No workshop tonight. The workshop is tomorrow night. I had these 2 days mixed up. So that's for my Fruit Up Till 5 family. What else we got there? Tomorrow night, Juice Champs episode 6, 5, one of them. We going Juice Champs episode 5 tomorrow night. Fruit Up with Bobby Smith YouTube. Me and Lashay Taylor with Tiger Carper and Monica Fish tomorrow. Our first guest on Juice Champs. How you feeling about that, Lashay?
Great. That's gonna be fun. Sorry,
yeah.
I was looking at my phone, but I was listening. Number one, they're fire. I've been interviewed already by Tiger Carper like last year in his group. We was talking conspiracy theories. We was talking, hormonal health, reproductive health, just based on my history with endometriosis, and his wife, Monica, her history, she pretty much has this saying. Hers was like crazy because hers was a lot more severe. I was listening to some of their story on an interview they did and shared, but super high level. Your interview with him, I learned so much more. He's older than I thought he was. He looks so young.
Yeah, you do.
It's a testament to the lifestyle. They're herbalists, and there's like legit. I have their herbs. I have, that alchemy that he puts together, and I've felt the benefits of what he has. And I actually consume his multi-mineral herb, which has like the burdock, the bladderwrack, the sarsaparilla, and the sea moss. I take that daily. I take 2 daily for my iron, for the blood cleansing, the blood building. The sea moss is good for the thyroid. So I definitely utilize the community when it comes to supplementing this, this healthy lifestyle, because our bodies are still repairing. It's still cleansing. Our guts are still cleansing and healing. So it's good to supplement our blood cells, so to speak, with a lot of these herbs, because, our intestines in a lot of ways really aren't absorbing the way that we should. So while we're cleaning out, it's good to have these things that's just like keeping us with some level of nutrients while we're on this lifestyle, maintaining our energy balances.
That's what a time to be alive, family. Like I truly feel like that. I really when I get up, you see my days now. Like I get up, I'm walking, I'm having high level conversations all day long. And that is so important. The conversations you having with people, the things you discussing, the environment you in, all of that matters, family. And we were really, really showing the lifestyle inside the Watermelon Washout. I can't wait to even go live tomorrow at 7 a.m. So if you're not in the washout, like I said, get in there, watermelonwashout.com, agameherbal.com. You can get the 15% till we hang this up. L Taylor 15 is the code. And like I said, tomorrow night, Juice Champs, me, Lashay, Monica, Tiger. And it's just going up from there, family. We got so much more to give the community. I am a true servant of the people. I'm honored to be in this position. I'm honored to walk with such great individuals every day. Shout out to my brother Kev Ramon, who's ignited a new spark inside of me, and I'm just ready to level up. Any last words, Lashay?
Nope. I talked enough.
All right. With that being said, let's keep fruiting up, family. Get inside the washout. Get inside the washout. And we appreciate y'all. Much love. Have a wonderful night. And go check out my brother Tiger Carper and Kev Ramon. And we turned up. Fruit up.
Love you. Bye.
Peace.